according to Ukraine's president, saying his country's forces have taken back more than 500 square kilometers of territory in the Kherson region, all in less than a week. He also said they've seen success in the eastern direction and that the day will come when they talk about the, quote, liberation of Crimea. This comes as Russian forces abandoned many of their positions in the south, with them being battered on the front lines and morale slipping. CNN's Melissa Bell has exclusive reporting from Russia's Wagner Group, a mercenary organization aiding in the war against Ukraine. We want to warn you, some of the images you'll see are disturbing.
The chaos of Ukraine's front lines through the eyes of a Wagner mercenary.
Legs, guts, arms, boys, it's all messed up.
A video shared exclusively with CNN by a member of Vladimir Putin's so-called private army. One of those who's seen enough.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
A far cry from the slick propaganda used by Wagner to entice recruits to the depleted Russian front lines. Long kept in the shadows by Moscow, the elite paramilitary group, or the musicians as they call themselves, now lionized for their role in Russia's springtime victories. Like the surrender of Azovstal or the fall of Mariupol. The mercenaries' experience initially making all the difference to Moscow, according to this former Wagner commander.
Without their active assistance, the Russian armed forces would not have been able to move forward at all.
The Kremlin didn't respond to our request for comment, but a months-long CNN investigation has found what the war has cost Moscow's elite fighting force. Its men, its confidence, and its allure. Marat Gabidulin says Wagner fighters are paid $5,000 a month to do the work regular Russian soldiers can't or won't.
There is not another motivation, only money. Russian peace for the American dollars.
Through their Telegram channels and through intercepts, Ukrainian intelligence keeps a watchful eye. Morale within Wagner is low, says Andrei Yusov. It wasn't designed to participate in a full-scale war.
They are dissatisfied with the overall organization of the fighting, the inability to make competent decisions, to organize battles, and of course this means losses.
This video shared with CNN by Ukraine's defense ministry shows a mercenary desperately asking why there is no body armor for them.
There are no more flak jackets, no more helmets either.
Of the estimated 5,000 Wagner mercenaries sent to Ukraine, 1,500 have been killed, according to intelligence sources in Kyiv. In Russia, that's meant recruitment drives. From front pages to billboards, the W Orchestra is waiting for you, says this one, with a number to call and no experience needed. A recruiter telling CNN through WhatsApp that barring thuggery, terrorism and sexual impropriety, all criminal convictions are negotiable. A man who appears to be the founder of Wagner, Evgeny Prigozhin, personally offering clemency to prisoners for 6 months of military service. The elusive oligarch no longer denying ties to the group that the war in Ukraine has both exposed and transformed.
It really shows that these guys are in trouble, so they really don't have people. They are ready to send anyone. There is no criteria for professionalism anymore.
And that could mean more possible war crimes, especially on the retreat. This video shared with CNN by a Wagner soldier appears to show mercenaries lining up the bodies of dead Ukrainian soldiers. In a chilling conversation, they debate whether to booby-trap them or shoot those who come to retrieve them, before realizing that they're out of ammunition.
Melissa Bell joins me now from Poland. And this is extraordinary. Since the Wagner Group and the Russian armed forces are operating on the same battlefield as Russia loses ground in this war, is there political conflict that we know between Wagner and Russia's Ministry of Defense?
Well, we do have an idea, Anderson, that when the war began, there had been a falling out between Evgeny Prigozhin and Vladimir Putin. That is according to the Russian Free Press that functions largely in exile. The idea that the two men who were very close, they go way back to Vladimir Putin's St. Petersburg days, were no longer functioning terribly well together. That's why some of the mercenaries that went in the beginning were not Wagner mercenaries. You'll remember that when the Russian armed forces started to see those setbacks in February, March, retreated from areas like Kyiv, the idea is that that is when Wagner came in. And remember, Anderson, that that is when Wagner began to make a massive difference. Not because the men were that numerous, simply because you were talking about the most experienced on the battlefield. And so you had those victories, Mariupol, Kherson, all of those victories we saw in the spring that were largely credited to Wagner because although they were functioning within the structures of the Russian armed forces, their experience, the fact that they were battle-hardened, helped to make that difference on the ground. The question is now, or rather what we've seen these last few weeks, whether they're continuing to add that value. Anderson.
I mean, how are the Wagner's recruitment efforts going if in that ad they're saying no experience necessary? That doesn't seem to be a great ad for the professionalism of the Wagner thugs.
Exactly. It isn't simply their material losses, the fact that they've lost 1,500 men we hear on the ground, but also they've had to recruit not just those battle-hardened, experienced men that they'd sought from their theatres of action in Africa in the beginning of the war, but rather they've filled their ranks with people who simply aren't doing that same sort of fighting. And of course, that has made a massive difference, their ability to make a difference on the ground. They simply aren't what they were when this war began. As you heard then, they are not the fighting force that was meant to be functioning inside a full-scale war. And Ukraine, it turns out, has taken its toll not just on the wider regular army, but also on Wagner itself. So there are these two recruiting drives. One is from the Russian state. It is, of course, obligatory. The money is less than within Wagner. Wagner is voluntary. They are paying more. And yet on the ground, of course, what they're finding is that it is not that many Russians that are choosing to sign up, hence the recruitment drives in the Russian prisons. And of course, that remember, Anderson, that this matters on the field, not just because what we're talking about is not just the retreats or the advances, the Russian army and Wagner mercenaries within it, but in the end, the power that has sent them there and the credibility that it now represents, Anderson.